The quest for new lands and riches captivated the imagination of European explorers in the 15th century. Seeking a shorter route to the east, Christopher Columbus embarked on a daring voyage in 1492. Columbus, sailing under the Spanish flag, encountered the Caribbean islands, mistakenly believing he had reached Asia. His discovery marked the beginning of European exploration and colonization of the Americas. Spain, eager to capitalize on the New World's resources, established the first European settlements in the Americas. Spanish conquistadors, driven by gold and glory, explored vast territories. They encountered and clashed with indigenous populations, forever altering the cultural landscape. The Spanish Empire expanded its reach across Central and South America, leaving an indelible mark on the region. Other European powers, witnessing Spain's success, soon joined the race for colonies. France established settlements in present-day Canada, focusing on the fur trade. The Dutch established New Netherland, encompassing the Hudson River Valley, with a strategic interest in commerce. England, initially lagging behind, would soon emerge as a dominant force in North America. In 1607, English settlers, funded by the Virginia Company, established Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in North America. Faced with harsh conditions, disease, and conflicts with Native Americans, Jamestown struggled to survive. The introduction of tobacco cultivation by John Rolfe in 1612 proved to be a turning point. Tobacco became a lucrative cash crop, attracting more settlers and ensuring the colony's survival. Seeking religious freedom, a group of English Puritans, known as Pilgrims, crossed the Atlantic aboard the Mayflower in 1620. They landed at Plymouth Rock in present-day Massachusetts, establishing a colony governed by their own laws. The Pilgrims faced numerous hardships but persevered with their strong faith and determination. Plymouth became a symbol of religious freedom and self-governance. The establishment of Jamestown and Plymouth marked the beginning of English colonial presence in North America. Over the next century, 13 colonies would emerge along the Atlantic coast, each with its unique character and economic pursuits. The 13 colonies, stretching from New Hampshire in the north to Georgia in the south, developed distinct identities while remaining under British rule. The New England colonies, founded on religious principles, focused on shipbuilding, fishing, and trade. The middle colonies, with their fertile soil and diverse populations, became breadbaskets, producing wheat and other crops. The southern colonies, characterized by large plantations, relied on enslaved African labor for the cultivation of cash crops like tobacco, rice, and indigo. Despite their differences, the colonies shared a common language, English common law, and a growing sense of self-reliance. Colonial assemblies, elected by eligible colonists, made local laws and levied taxes. The British government, preoccupied with affairs in Europe, generally adopted a policy of salutary neglect, allowing the colonies considerable autonomy. This period of relative freedom fostered the development of colonial identity and institutions. As the colonies prospered, their economic ties with Great Britain strengthened. The colonies provided raw materials such as timber, cotton, and tobacco to fuel British industries. In turn, the colonies became markets for British manufactured goods. This mercantilist system, while beneficial to both sides, also created a power imbalance that would eventually lead to discontent. Following the costly French and Indian War, which lasted from 1754 to 1763, the British government sought to increase revenue by imposing new taxes on the colonies. The Sugar Act of 1764 and the Stamp Act of 1765, which required colonists to pay taxes on sugar and printed materials respectively, were met with fierce resistance. Colonists argued that they should not be subjected to taxation without representation in the British Parliament. The cry of no taxation without representation became a rallying cry for colonial resistance. Protests, boycotts, and acts of defiance escalated tensions between the colonies and Great Britain. The Boston Massacre of 1770, in which British soldiers fired upon unarmed colonists, further inflamed anti-British sentiment. The subsequent Boston Tea Party of 1773, where colonists dumped British tea into Boston Harbor to protest the Tea Act, pushed the colonies closer to the brink of war.